Hi, this is Karl from Nile. You're listening to Broken Neck Radio.
Hi, this is Lucius Blackworth on May 5th, 2014 for Broken Neck Radio. Today from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. I'm at the Rickshaw Theatre, joined by one of the heaviest bands on the fucking planet. Why don't you tell us who you are and who you play for?
My name's Karl, and I play with Nile.
Excellent, man. How you doing today?
A little under the weather, but we're here to play some metal.
Excellent, man. How was the trip up? I heard you guys did a fair amount of kilometers getting up here.
Yeah, we came from Denver.
Wow.
So that's one hell of a haul.
With no doubt. You guys have any issues coming across the border? Just a little slower?
Well, we always have border issues, but today there were lots of other buses, like tourist buses, coming across, so we had to wait our turn.
Now, it's pretty customary for metal bands to tour quite often. Why don't we see you guys more often here in Vancouver?
Well, this is our first time in Canada. We took a long time in our career to make the first trip to Canada because we had some border crossing issues. If you've ever done anything extracurricular or fun in your life, even if it was 25 or 30 years ago, the Canadian border will extract money from you. And the amount of money they wanted for me to cross the border was obscene until the last couple years, where the laws have changed slightly, so now it's only a ridiculous 4-figure sum instead of a 5-figure sum, which made it possible. Although not any fun, that's a ridiculous amount of money.
No doubt.
Yeah, just to come over here for 12 hours.
Yeah, that's fucking ridiculous, man. So this tour is in support of your guys' newest album, At the Gate of Sethu, which is available now. How's the response been to the album so far?
Well, so far, I think it's been pretty good. There have been some really strong voices in support. There have been some people who hated it, but overall, it's been our best-selling record to date, and highest charting as well. So we must have done something right.
Fuck yeah, you did. What did you guys set out to accomplish going into the studio for this album?
Well, we really wanted to capture the band, to accurately and cleanly capture what we actually do. A lot of times when you're making high-speed death metal albums, the details can get lost because there's so much going on so fast, and the deep tuning, and, it gets hard to separate stuff and hearing the actual details. So that's one thing we wanted to do, was make it clean enough where people could actually hear what we're actually doing. That made for a really surgically clean record.
Beautiful, man. Yeah, it's a phenomenal record, and when it came out, I was absolutely stoked to hear it. What keeps you guys inspired over the years?
We love metal. It's our life. It's who we are. It's what we do.
Fuck yeah. A lot of guys in this scene are on the road for a while, tend to get mellow after a few years. I understand you guys love metal, but how do you guys stay so fucking angry? Is it just a steady regiment of hookers and cocaine?
Of course. Is there any other answer to that question? No.
Absolutely not. How long have you guys been on the road this far on your North American tour, and where are you guys headed next?
Well, this is part 3 of our North American touring, and this leg is about 4.5 weeks.
Who do you fucking hate the most, and why?
I used to answer that question George Bush, because back in the Bush years, every fucking interviewer, if he had nothing better to ask, would say something about George Bush, or asking what I thought about this that George Bush did, or that, or why do you think George did this? And it used to really piss me off, because George Bush obviously does not call me before he makes his decisions. Yet, he found himself in every single one of my interviews for about 8 years.
Wow.
So I really didn't like George just for that. I thought he was chewing up too much my print space.
And from what I understand, that's how he gets his power, too, so...
Yeah, of course. But, I don't actually dislike George.
Really?
I dislike our current president. I think we've turned into a socialist communist state where personal liberty has gone the way of the dodo.
So for all the gearheads that are in our audience, tell us about your stage rig from top to bottom, from the guitar down to your pedal board.
I'm playing Dean guitars, Seymour Duncan pickups, Monster cable, goes to an Engel head. Actually, I have a pair of Engel Invaders. Then there's the Marshall cabs. I'm using a variety. One of the cabs I have the 100-watt Kerry King speakers. In another cab I've got the new 65-watt Creambacks. And I think the top ones are loaded with 75s.
Very cool. Does your studio rig differ very much from your stage rig?
Of course it does. It's nothing like it. Usually when I'm at home recording, I'll play through this blonde head, and it's just the guitar, the cable, the head. Sometimes I might put in like a pedal. I'm kind of fond of the Black Star pedals. They're high voltage tube pedals, which are basically preamps in front of the fucking head.
Right. Couple fan questions here. We've had a couple people ask as to when you're going to be hitting other spots around central Canada. Any plans for that?
Currently, we're enjoying our first trip in Canada. We probably won't be back to Canada until the next record comes out, which we will. After this point, the Canadian government has been properly paid and considers me rehabilitated, which basically means I paid the money. It doesn't actually mean anything else. But I can come across the border whenever I want to now because I paid the money.
Bad, excellent. They're all happy. What is your favorite tuning when you're writing music?
Well, Nile plays in drop A. Quite fond of that tuning. My 7th string, it's got a low A on it, but otherwise it's a standard 6 on top, which is a slightly different tuning than Nile. The middle string is different, so it changes the chording for a lot of the chords. It actually makes some Nile songs really difficult. But it makes soloing in the upper register much more accessible.
Cool. Mm-hmm. And what can we expect over the next 24 months here?
We're going to hopefully record the record by late in this year, so that means the record will probably be out either end of the year or the beginning of the next year, which means touring should be by springtime.
Cool, so we'll see you again very soon then.
I hope so.
Stoked, man. Excellent. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it, man. It's been wonderful here. No, not a word of lie, man. I've been waiting to see you guys forever. This is like just huge on my bucket list to do, so I'm really, really stoked. Theoretical question. Let's say you're on an airplane with the band, crashes into a side of a mountain. You guys are stranded, no food, no water. Who do you eat first?
Duh, the bass player.
Makes sense.